and welcome to Centurion's Corner, and today we are looking at the new G.I. Joe retro line. I say new, it's been out for a little while to be honest, and I actually picked these up for £15 and they said that they were damaged boxes, but I can't see anything, and we're going to be ripping this open anyway. So I am a big fan of G.I. Joe, what Action Force back in the 80s, anything that went with that, I absolutely loved it and used to watch it with my brother as well. And we had all the 3.75s for decades. So I kind of wanted to dabble into the G.I. Joe, and all I got is Snake Eyes, the Bat, and Storm Shadow. But when they launched these guys, I thought, great, it's a chance to rebuy them again with decals that I prefer, which is the G.I. Joe of the action figures of the 80s as well. And this is Destro. He looks fantastic with the G.I. Joe across the top here, Cobra enemy coming out of that sort of blast effect on the side. It's got a pistol, an extra gun here, and a suitcase. I think they all come with a stand on the side. On the back as well, actually shows off like a retro. We've got his like bio card and the other figures that you can buy in this wave. So you got Lady Jane, a Baroness, and Gun Ho. He's never really my favourite, but if they brought Flint out in this, I would definitely be all over it. So I guess without further ado, let's crack this bad boy open. So now he's out of his packaging, we get him out for our first impressions. Really like that chrome, looks really good, and yeah, just looks fab. Really like these G.I. Joe figures, I think they're really good, although the first one, if you remember, the Bat with his leg actually broke. So we're going to go away, take some pictures, and we'll see you. So I've been away taking these photos, and what can I say about this guy? Well, to be honest, it's not a bad figure. It's just a generic G.I. Joe figure, the same articulation as most that we have seen already, yet it is the retro Destro, and it just oozes 80s coolness to me, standing next to Darth Vader, Skeletor and stuff like that. It just is really cool. So it comes with a few accessories here, mainly one is this kind of nice little suitcase with the Cobra logo on there. It's on the back as well. You can open them up by just pulling it apart, and inside one side you've got some cash, and then on this side we've got some laptop with Mars written inside there with the Cobra insignia as well. So pretty cool, not too bad. Quite good for sort of like photos and stuff like that. He kind of holds it okay, but because he's got these kind of sort of like trigger hands, it's a bit difficult to get it inside there, but once he's holding it, it's not too bad. The other accessory he comes with is his little blaster. This is the bigger of the two. Not too bad, looks a bit sort of futuristic kind of esque on there, got all these extra scopes and whatnot, but the detailing is pretty cool. And obviously he's got trigger hands for both firearms. Taking this one out of his holster, which sits in there just nicely, just pull this out, and it's more of a traditional kind of pistol on that part there. Again, kind of looking a bit futuristic, but yeah, not too bad. And then we just slide that back in there. Taking off his accessories, we can actually do his articulation. So with that, you can go left, you can go right, you can look down this far and look back, and as you can see, he's on a ball joint, and he's also got lower neck movement as well, so he's got a little bit of swagger going on. Rotation around up on the arm, you can come up to this far, and also we've got a nice butterfly joint inside there. We've got rotation on the upper sort of bicep. We've got a double elbow joint, which is pins as well. Rotation at the wrist, and it's also on a slight hinge as well. And then we've got waist swivel. We've got an ab crunch that comes down this far, and it comes back all the way up here. We have got the kind of hip movement, which comes downwards. So you can actually get a bit more movement out of that as well, and then you can go up, back, legs can come up this wide, which goes all the way really. It's even better than Spider-Man. He's also got a rotation on the upper thigh. He's got a double knee joint that comes all the way up, and then he's got rotation at his boot, and then he's got the rocker and a pivot at the ankle. But so all in all, basic G.I. Joe articulation, as I said. So nothing really adding to the figure, but it's mainly the aesthetic of this guy with that nice silver face on there with the eyebrows, and also you can see his pupils as well. Pretty cool. He's got this kind of movable chain. If you want to pop it off, you can take off his head, and that actually can be removable. but it's pretty cool for that. Got the nice kind of red kind of quill around there of the Cobra kind of collar coming up, and then really it's just a repaint of the original Destro that come out around about the first time that these guys came out. Got a nice kind of chrome effect on here, so it's actually a nice chrome silver. On the belt we got an M, which is on there. I'm not too sure what the M would actually necessarily stand for. And around we've got a red holster and these ammo clips and stuff there on that kind of belt part that goes all around. The rest of the suit is just all in black, and then down to his boots, which I think for me is probably the least part of the figure I like. It's just done in this really sort of like plasticky looking grey, and it really takes away from the figure. Even though it does match the belt, it just doesn't look right in my opinion. It's just, the figure looks really cool, looks really chromy, but then it's just really sort of a bit dire down on that part. But all in all, he is a good classic figure and another Cobra to add to the... So we can bring Song Shadow in here on his right hand side, or his left should I say, and then also I have the first G.I. Joe that I bought with his leg that actually busted, which was a shame, which is the Cobra Bat. I've actually chromed this guy up a little bit as well, since he originally released, so which is pretty cool. Kind of nice sort of height size comparisons with that. And then taking it away, we can actually bring in some nostalgia. So we've got the Masters of the Universe Skeletor here. I don't really have a big collection of these. I only have He-Man and Skeletor. And then obviously we can bring in the big bad guy, even though he did actually come from the 70s, but he's mainly around more in the 80s as it was the late 70s. And yeah, looking great. Definitely my 80s shelf of my childhood, even though these guys would be about 3.75. So thank you so much for joining me in this one. Don't forget to comment down below, subscribe, ding the bell, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.